Good evening. It is 6 o'clock, and I will call our organizational meeting to order. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so for this organizational meeting, we have a series of appointments that need to be made. Oh, but first, let's adopt the agenda. Can I have a motion to, thank you, second?
Second, Hembry.
All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Okay, so the series of appointments are listed under the consent items 1 through 14. We're missing. Oh, okay. Is that, okay. So that's separate. Okay, I'm sorry, I was not following that. All right, so we need a motion to appoint so this is board recommendation for approval of the treasurer, Dr. Joel Gilhouse, our deputy treasurer, Mr. Russ Knapp, and our clerk, Ms. Shelley Trenholm. Do I have a motion and a second? All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Okay. And we've adopted the agenda. I'm sorry for going out of order. Is that okay? We're good? Okay. All right. Consent items. We have, okay. All right. These include some other appointments and some other routine business contact. So that's items 1 through 14 under D. Do I have a motion to approve consent?
Move to approve the consent items.
So we have a first from Mr. Stratton and a second from Ms. Owsley. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Okay, action item E1. This is a resolution to establish Board of Education meeting dates for the 2023-24 fiscal year. Dr. Hubbarders, anything you'd like to add to that?
Attached, you'll find the dates. We have 7 months with 1 meeting and 5 months with 2 meetings. And the only adjustment from this year is we have 6 with 2 and 6 with 1, but due to a couple of holidays in the calendar, as well as we next year have a graduation on a Monday night, we had some conflicts there. So that is the recommended calendar for 23-24.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion? All right, thank you, Ms. Owsley. Second?
Boyd Nerona.
All right, any other questions or comments about the board calendar?
Shelley, do I need to read this into the record? We need to read the resolution. Okay. I will go ahead and read the resolution before we take a vote.
Okay.
Be it resolved that pursuant to KSA 728205, the Board of Education of USD 512, Johnson County, Kansas, at its organizational meeting on June 26, 2023, established the following meeting schedule for regular Board of Education meetings to be held during the 2023-2024 school year. Meetings will generally begin at 5:30 p.m. on the second and fourth Monday of each month, except for July, September, November, December, March, April, and May, when there will be 1 regular meeting. Meetings will be held in the boardrooms of the Center for Academic Achievement, 8200 West 71st Street, Shawnee Mission, Kansas. The established meeting date falls on a legal holiday or a holiday specified by the Board of Education. Such regular meeting will be scheduled on the date specified, commencing at the same hour and at the same location as detailed above. If the established meeting date is canceled because of an emergency within 24 hours of such cancellation, the board shall establish and give notice of the new meeting date and time. And the Board of Education reserves the right to adjourn any regular meeting to another time and place.
Okay. Procedurally, I'm just skipping a bunch of steps. Do we need to second this resolution? Is this the motion? This is not the okay. Right. Okay. All right. Anyways, all right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. All right, ratification of policies. And this would be, Dr. Hubbard, in relation to our board policies that are
Yeah,
standing.
so I'm just recommending, this is an annual procedure item, that the Board of Education of Shawnee Mission USD 512 continue its policies as currently printed and repeal all others for the 23-24 school year.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve? Thank you, Ms. Borgman. Second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. All right, that concludes our organizational meeting. All right. And then okay. So we'll call to order our regularly scheduled board meeting in which I need to seek an adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Hembry.
All right, second? Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. We have 3 minutes there, 1.3 to 1.5. And Ms. Goodburn is... Yep. That's okay. No, this is good. I like the checking. Okay, so we have minutes from 1.3 to 1.5. If there are no changes, could I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
All right, second?
Second, Hembry.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries to approve minutes 1.3 to 1.5 is approved, 6-0. Brings us to 2.1, the superintendent's report. Dr. Hubbard.
Yeah, thank you. We're excited to share student artwork from the fourth quarter in the Shawnee Mission's newest digital art show. This show features 350 works of art from students in pre-K through 12th grade from all feeder patterns across the district. Our 4 digital art shows presented this year have shared more than 1,000 individual works of student art with our community. We thank the students, art teachers, and Megan Ellis, Visual Arts Coordinator of Curriculum and Instruction, and Lenexa Hills art teacher for creating and curating this show. We will share a link in the recap so anyone can watch the fourth quarter art show and the shows from the previous 3 quarters. The Kansas Board of Regents has recognized 3 Shawnee Mission high schools as Apply Kansas All-Star High Schools in 2023. Shawnee Mission South, Shawnee Mission West, and Shawnee Mission North were all recognized. To be considered, a school must host an Apply Kansas school event, sponsor a free application for federal student aid event, and host a college signing or senior signing day event. The Kansas Board of Regents congratulated the schools and faculty for all the ways they support post-secondary planning activities in their schools. Shawnee Mission South is celebrating another national championship debate team. Recent graduates Brooke Hato and Clara Bradley are 2023 National Speech and Debate Association champions and Unger Cup winners. The Unger Cup is presented to schools whose policy debate team places highest in 6 national tournaments. Earlier this year, Jeremiah Rimpson Sr. and Maddie Augustine Jr. were declared debate champions at the National Catholic Forensic League National Championship. All of these students are coached by Shawnee Mission All-Star and Shawnee Mission South English Language Arts teacher Carolyn Cook. This month, 27 Shawnee Mission juniors and seniors are celebrating graduating from Leadership's Shawnee Mission program. They spent 2 weeks in this premier leadership program offered by the Shawnee Mission Education Foundation. Educators nominate students they think would be strong candidates, and they are invited to apply. Students who are selected engage in hands-on exercises, self-assessments, and collaborative games while learning how to effectively communicate, build trust, and foster positive relationships. We congratulate these students for all they have done to become leaders in their school and community, and we thank the Shawnee Mission Education Foundation for providing this amazing opportunity. Summer is always a busy time for construction in the Shawnee Mission School District. Last meeting, we shared a few details about facility improvements in progress during the strategic plan update. Tonight, we want to take a look at summer construction. We start with Pawnee Elementary, which will be our next rebuild project to open. We are planning for students and staff to begin learning in the new school this fall. This building will include features like flexible learning spaces for increased collaboration, an outdoor learning space, spacious classrooms featuring natural light. Construction also continues on Rushton Elementary School, another one of our recent elementary school rebuild projects. Shawnee Mission South is gaining a cafeteria hallway storefront glass addition that will allow for better supervision and modernize the space. Restrooms are being renovated. The gymnasium stage is being renovated into a training facility, and a weight room is being remodeled into a fitness center. Both of these facilities will provide larger spaces for exercise and training and will focus on different physical benefits. They will also support curriculum-based programs and support students in a wide variety of school activities. Hawker Grove and Trail Ridge Middle Schools will see significant changes to improve drop-offs and pickups. At Hawker Grove, the main drive and parking lots are being renovated with the addition of a new bus loop. At Trail Ridge, the main entrance, including the administrative offices, has been moved to the back of the building, and the original main drive after renovations will be the new bus loop on the east side. Shawnee Mission's Early Childhood Education Center is in its second phase of renovation. The building is getting updates to flooring, ceilings, corridor lighting, casework, along with a restroom remodeling. We also wanted to share that earlier this spring, our construction partners held a Touch a Truck event with the students, giving them a front seat for all of the building excitement. We thank them for that educational opportunity. We also thank our community for voting in favor of the bond that makes all of this possible, and we appreciate everyone who is working hard during the summer to get these projects completed. We have received requests from multiple sources, including parents, students, and staff advisory committees, and school administrators concerning the need for more specific guidance related to the use of personal electronic devices, including cell phones, during the school day. These requests relate to our need to provide a highly effective and consistent learning space across the district. On tonight's consent agenda, the board will consider the revised student handbooks for elementary, middle, and high school students, which include updated guidance on cell phone usage. The guidance we are providing was already in the student handbooks as part of our discipline matrix, but this addition will help provide some clarity across the district. At the elementary and middle school levels, the guidance states, during instructional time, the personal use of cell phones and other electronic devices that are not district issued is prohibited unless explicitly directed by school staff. Cell phones and other personal electronic devices are to be turned off and put away during the day in order to respect the educational environment of the classroom. At the high school level, the guidance notes, during instructional time, the personal use of cell phones and other electronic devices that are not district issued is prohibited unless explicitly permitted by school staff. We are hopeful this guidance will support our work to provide highly effective and consistent learning spaces across the district. Additional details will be available in the board recap and on the district website, and of course will be available in handbooks as well. That concludes my report.
All right, thank you very much. Item 2.2, board reports. I'm looking down. We do have a first read of, I'm wondering about the Policy Review Committee. Ms. Goodburn's not here. If anybody else wants to.
I would just say the Policy Review Committee met on June 15th, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that as we talk about first reads.
We have 3 first reads?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anybody else on board reports? I think we're okay. All right. Board financial reports, item 2.3.
So attached, you'll find the board financial report as well as the ESSER 3 report through May of 2023. You will notice in the ESSER 3 report there's still a large amount in the balance. However, I would note that retention payments will be paid in September, which will be a large amount of dollars coming out of that ESSER 3, as well as we still have a large number of salaries associated with ESSER 3. So we have a plan to spend that money or encumber those dollars by our deadline.
Okay. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved, Owsley.
Thank you, Ms. Owsley. Second? Oh.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. You're right.
But I was supportive.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. All right. Clearly, my mind is a little distracted tonight. So, okay. All right. we are going to discuss policy updates. Can I ask a question about the board financial report, just for clarification? Our workers' compensation, that is a self-funded policy, correct? Or self-funded?
We are self-funded, yes.
We are self-funded. So is there a target amount that our goal to, kind of a minimum or reserve level, being that it's self-funded?
There is a requirement by KSDE, and I'm going to toss that to Mr. Knapp. He can explain that in more detail.
Yes, since we are self-funded, each year we have to fill out an application to the Division of Workers' Comp at the state level.
Okay.
They look at our open claims and calculate an amount that we should have on hand on June 30th. 2.6 million has been that number for quite a few years. We exceeded that this year, so the estimate that they calculated was about $3,050,000. So we're going to increase that fund balance to $3 million when we do our transfers on June 30th, when we close the fiscal year.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Mr. Knapp, is it also fair to say that our claims are annually going up?
Yeah, so just last year is $2,950,000, so they're trending up. So this is a good year to do it when you have money available, and so you can get ahead of that. And so this will last us for a few years.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right, moving on to item 3.1, our first of three discussion items. And this is revised board policy KK, sale of district property, first reading.
So before I talk specifically about that, I just want to say in general that we met on June 15th to discuss these three policies that are on the agenda tonight, and that the district is required to adopt or update due to changes in state law. So all three of these first reads are KSDE recommendations based on a state law change. The policy changes reflect new requirements for public schools in state law, which we are required to comply with. The new state law requirements and updated policies will not result in any major change in our practice or day-to-day operations at school, but we will be in compliance with state law. So I just wanted to clarify that. So the first one being policy KK is the sale of district property. And so the first read is there available for you. The second one is regarding policy JH, which is student activities. Again, first read there. And then the third one being IFCC, which is around overnight accommodations. Again, all first reads. So if you have questions or suggestions or edits that you would like to make to suggest for these policies, I would love for you to shoot me that in the next week so that we can consider any edits that we might want to do for a second read. However, I will tell you they've been vetted by both our attorney and KSDE, and so we would want to make minimal changes because of the state law requirements.
Any questions at this point? Okay.
I was just going to ask to confirm, these are all KASB model policy that we're adopting because of changes at the state legislative level over the past session. Are there any places where we've deviated from KASB model policy, or are we pretty much, like adopting them whole cloth?
Yes, there's a pretty significant deviation, and that is in 3.3 in overnight accommodations. And that is where we just say we will follow state law. And their policy was fairly long and really detailed, and we didn't feel like we needed that. We didn't go away from their recommendation, we just significantly condensed it. Is that a fair statement?
Well, and we also added so long as the state isn't preempted by any Title IX regulations, because Title IX regulations are anticipated to come out, well, I think
Anytime,
the end of the
I think.
summer.
Yeah.
So that we're not in a situation where we might have to go back and revisit it. We're just addressing potential preemption.
Thank you. I was just curious.
Okay. Thank you. That's good. All right. Moving on to consent items. So we have consent items all the way through the 6.1. We have one bond item, consent item as well. So I'm seeking a motion to approve items 4.1 to 6.1 if there is no item to be pulled.
So moved by Ousley.
All right, thank you. Second?
Second, Hembry.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. We have several action items. We have 8 of them, actually, for tonight. Let's begin with 7.1, approval to exceed the revenue neutral rate.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that we are recommending that you approve the intent to exceed the revenue neutral rate for the 23-24 budget school year, and I'm going to ask Russ to give a little detail.
Thank you, Dr. Hubbard. So this is our 3rd year of doing the revenue neutral rate, and Kansas Statute 792988 establishes the calculation and communication of the revenue neutral rate. The county is responsible for calculating and notifying us of that R&R, and that is the first document that is attached to the board docs. And if you total those mill levies is on that document, it is 44.688. The second document that is on there is the form that we will complete, and we have to submit that to Johnson County by July 20th. We still have to get our budget document, state budget documents from the state. We haven't received those yet. We'll complete those shortly before July 20th. We'll complete that form and we'll submit it to the county. When we presented the operating budget to you at the May workshop, we estimated a mill levy of 50.157. So when we do complete the state budget document, we will definitely be exceeding the 44.688. So we're kind of notifying you of that, and this action item is asking for your approval. So when we complete the state budget documents, we will exceed that revenue neutral rate, and we will notify the county as such.
Okay. Ms. Hembry, could you read the motion?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to approve the intent to exceed the revenue neutral rate for the 2023-2024 budget year.
Do I have a second?
Second. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you for all that work. All right, our next action item is 7.2, approval to purchase general lines of insurance coverage.
Yes, I'm recommending approval to purchase the district's general lines of insurance coverage with the total premiums and fees at a cost of $2,120,681 for the 2023-24 school year. Premiums will be paid from the operating funds, workman compensation fund, and special liability fund.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
All right, so Stratton approve. Second,
Second,
Ousley.
Ousley.
All right, any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. 7.3, authorization to purchase natural gas utilities from Symmetry for fiscal year 23-24. Dr. Hubbard?
So yes, I'm recommending that the district purchase natural gas utilities from Symmetry Energy Solutions for the 23-24 school year. Based on recent cost and past activity, the district estimates that we will spend approximately $800,000 with Symmetry in 23-24, although natural gas utility costs are subject to fluctuate. This expense will be funded through the general operating funds.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved, Ousley.
Thank you. Second?
Boyd Nerona.
All right. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 7.4, authorization to purchase electric utilities from Evergy for fiscal year 23-24.
Yeah, so I'm recommending the district purchase electric utilities from Evergy for 23-24. Based on recent costs and past activity, we estimate that we will spend approximately $7.8 million with Evergy in 23-24, although utility costs are always subject to fluctuate. This expense will be funded with a general operating fund.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved, Ousley.
Thank you. Second?
Second, Hembry.
All right. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. 7.5, authorization to purchase water utilities from Water District Number 1 for fiscal year 23-24.
Yeah, so I'm recommending the district purchase water utilities from Water District Number 1 for 23-24. Based on recent costs and past activities, we estimate we will spend approximately $361,000 with Water District Number 1 this next school year. And again, although water utilities are subject to fluctuation, this expense will be funded through the general operating fund.
All right, do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
All right, I think we had Stratton for first and Ms. Borgman second? Yeah, all right. Okay, any questions?
I have a question where some of these appear to be fairly routine, and it may just be a nice reminder to the public why we're taking a look at, it's a $250,000 threshold, right, that we have to vote upon each item, is that right? Is that why we're taking a look at each of these?
Well, it's annually too. These are for the
Yep.
upcoming school year. This would be a reoccurring theme you would see on almost any June or July meeting.
It might be, I just thought it might be a nice refresher for
Yeah.
people, like, why are they,
Any action, any item over $250,000 shows up in
We vote.
an action.
Yeah.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Ms. Owsley there. 7.6, authorization to purchase fuel for student transportation from World Fuel, Ozark Mountain Energy, and Manor Oil for the fiscal year 23-24 school year.
Yes, so that recommendation would cover our transportation needs and fuel expenditures, and we have an estimated combined amount of $1 million for the year. And this expense would be funded from the general operating fund and special education.
All right, do I seek a motion?
So moved, Owsley.
Second?
Second, Hembry?
All right. I'll just add point of comment. Each of these is negotiated in good faith. If there are ways to find cost savings or to seek more efficiency, that's pretty
Oh,
standard procedure, right?
absolutely.
So thank you to all those who,
And it also, the weather controls,
Right.
there are a lot of factors
Right.
that, some within our control and many that are not within our control. Student need.
yep.
And Michelle, can I ask, on this one, I noticed there's multiple vendors. Is that because we just want to have options, or why the prior have been just, Symmetry, Evergy, Water District Number 1, and this is multiple fuel vendors?
Mr. Knapp?
Yeah, we actually bid these each time we go out to purchase. So these are the three vendors that we identified. They're on state contracts or some type of cooperative contract. But then each time we go out to purchase fuel, we'll bid these three to just get even a little bit better pricing.
Okay, great, thank you.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. 7.7, approval of agency contract for supplemental operation staffing.
Move approval, Borgman.
All right, second?
Second, Owsley.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry. Questions?
I had a question. I noticed that this was a continuation from what we did last year because we did not have enough custodians. Are we actually saving money by doing a contract, or is this a neutral, or what does this look like dollars and cents wise for the district?
So this is our third year under contract with ATS Facility Services for our high schools. This will be our second year coming up for the 23-24 school year for middle schools. We pay for this by the fact that we do not have enough custodians doing cleaning, so we are not taking a loss of this. As we continue to hire new custodians for the second shift, so if we hire 5 custodians, then we take 5 of their workers off. So if they currently have 30, we hire 5 more, so now they're down to 25. So we are slowly implementing our workers, because ultimately I think we all would agree we want to keep this in-house if we have enough employees to do it. But this is a no-loss process for us. It's a break-even based upon the lack of custodians that we have.
Okay.
That's great.
For some reason, I thought we were saving money in this, but that sounds good. Yeah.
Russ, are we saving with no workman's comp, benefits?
Yeah, well, you're saving money because you still have all those vacancies that Dr. Gilhouse mentioned. So it's Social Security, health insurance, and the salary itself. And then I think I don't know how good that contractor is filling those positions, but between the two, if you're not filling that position, you're going to have savings.
They are fully staffed with ATS, which is nice. The first time they've been fully staffed, and so challenge is why they are. We're not. We're continuing to look at that, and we'll continue to monitor that.
All right.
But can I confirm something you said there, Dr. Gilhouse, which was, it is our intention and hope to get to the place where we're fully staffed with our own in-house custodial services. This isn't sort of a movement toward a new normal for
No.
Shawnee Mission. This is a stopgap.
This
while
is
we
a stopgap based
try
on
to
the
get those.
pandemic, of which we are working towards getting full employment in our night custodians to be able to meet the needs of our buildings and kids.
And I would say that's not just with custodial. While this is a custodial item, you've seen other items regarding special education service providers and a variety of different other contracted service. Our goal would be to be fully staffed across the board.
Thank you.
And the new pay raise goes into effect here very soon. so
July
that should
1.
help make up.
We're hopeful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I think it's time, Ms. Board Narona.
No, or.
We're going to, okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries 6-0. Okay, 7.8, the resolution regarding participation in social media litigation. Dr. Hepburn.
Yeah, so I'm recommending that the board approve the resolution authorizing the named law firms to investigate and initiate litigation against social media companies to recover damages suffered by the district. There is no cost to the district to participate in this litigation.
Okay.
Oh, you
Oh,
read the resolution?
hang on a second.
Yes, I will recuse myself from this discussion due to possible conflict.
Okay. Okay, yes. Do we need to read?
I would have a motion in a second and read the resolution.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
All right, second?
Second, Workman?
Okay. All right, do we have a volunteer to read the resolution, or do?
Do you want me to keep up my streak for the evening?
I know, you're on a roll. That'd be awesome.
Okay. Resolution authorizing pursuit of litigation against social media companies. Whereas on May 23rd, 2023, the U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy, issued a public advisory warning of the risks of social media use to young people and found that, quote, there are ample indicators that social media can also have a profound risk of harm on the mental health and well-being of children and adolescents. Whereas the U.S. Surgeon General reported up to 95% of youth ages 13 to 17 use a social media platform, with more than a third of those youth saying they use social media almost constantly. Whereas the U.S. Surgeon General reported that as of 2021, 8th and 10th graders now spend an average of 3.5 hours per day on social media. Whereas the U.S. Surgeon General stated adolescents who spend more than 3 hours per day on social media face double the risk of experiencing poor mental health outcomes, including symptoms of depression and anxiety. Whereas social media companies like Meta, TikTok, Snapchat, and YouTube may engage in deceptive practices by designing and promoting their products to attract and addict children, including inadequate age verification measures, insufficient parental controls, and targeted algorithms. Whereas the Unified School District 512, Johnson County, Kansas, has been impacted by student use of and addiction to social media on school premises, which has resulted in the depletion and diversion of resources of teachers, administrators, school nurses, social workers, counselors, and resource officers. Now therefore be it resolved by the Unified School District Number 512, Johnson County, Kansas. The district hereby authorizes the law firms of Goza and Honold, Beasley Allen, Crow, Methvin, Portis and Miles, and Wagstaff and Carmel LLP to investigate and, if appropriate, initiate litigation and file suit against any necessary parties to recover damages suffered by the district as a result of social media companies engaging in deceptive practices by designing and promoting their products to attract and addict children and to seek all appropriate relief. The district hereby authorizes Superintendent Dr. Michelle Hubbard to sign all necessary releases, contracts, and other documents on behalf of the district necessary to effectuate this resolution.
All right, thank you for reading that.
Yeah.
All right, if there are no questions, further questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Thank you for reading that. All right, Mr. Stratton is getting Ms. Boyd-Nerona. That brings us to our final agenda item here, comment from board members. Does anyone have any comments?
I'd like to just briefly thank Dr. Hubbard and the team for putting so much thoughtful consideration into our handbooks this year, particularly the guidance around personal device use by students. It's something I know I've heard a lot about from folks out in the community, and I'm imagining other board members have as well. And I really appreciate the hard work and thoughtfulness that went into putting what was before us tonight. Thank you.
All right. All right. This concludes our meeting. We will reconvene again on July 24th. Meeting is adjourned. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you.